The road we're on is paved in Garth.
Come along on the journey
as we explore
Garthology.
Think of it more as a conversation. I like that. So if this is truly a conversation, then I say let the conversation begin. Showtime!
Hey everyone, it's Deb.
And I'm Pete.
And I'm Jess.
Welcome to another episode of Garthology. All three of us are back today, plus we have a special treat for you as we are joined in today's episode by Matthew Sanders, one of our very favorite Garthologists who's been so supportive of us and this little podcast we do. So welcome to the show, Matthew.
Welcome, buddy. Thanks for joining us.
Welcome. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, guys. I'm absolutely ecstatic to be here today.
Well, we are thrilled to have you. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
So, my name's Matthew. A big Garth fan since early 90s. I want to say 90, but I don't know if I can take that much credit. I was 10 years old at the time.
You can. I do.
I do. I mean, yeah.
It was my mother always blasting Garth Brooks in the car, constantly on repeat. So, fell in love with it from the start. I started a project about a year ago called Greasy Pickle. And it was a family project. My wife told me to get a hobby. And she suggested wood burning. I went with graphics and making videos and such. And my first one, you're always supposed to do what you love. And Garth Brooks is my spirit animal. Mm-hmm. So we went with the Garth Brooks video first. We posted it up on a Friday. And on Monday, he played it on Studio G.
Dang.
Nice.
Awesome.
Oh, I screamed, I cried. It was crazy.
Isn't that a thrill? I love that.
Oh, man, just see something I worked so hard on and just that he got to see it was amazing. We released another one and he played that as well. So just twice at that point. Jason Bryan from the Believers group and me combined on a purchase of a Garth Brooks signed hat that was from a concert worn signed hat. He sent the money over. We bought it. We got it back to the Garth vault. And my daughter wanted to try it on because she's a giant fan. And took a picture of her with that. And that made it on the show as well.
Oh,
awesome.
You're down 1,000 now.
No, not 1,000. There's been a couple that's in the Believers group that never got on, but were definitely worthy. They're pretty good.
Nice.
So are there things in with these graphic videos that you take? I mean, you just take still photos or what's the process that goes into it? A little bit about how you get them together.
It's gathering a lot of different things, getting them together, coming up with ideas of what Garth fans would like, because everything has to be family friendly. That's the community. It's not, mm-hmm. You can mock people, you can joke around, but you just can't be disrespectful. I can't say there's really a process. It's kind of just the idea comes to me and I start throwing it together. Usually it starts out with a picture of Garth, obviously. And then most of the time, since there's not full body shots of recognizable Garth, it's mostly the headshot. So we'll start with the head and then we'll build a body on it and then add different things around them, make them talk or swap some faces out.
That's amazing.
That's super cool.
And you take these and you post them to a website, or where can people find these videos and stuff that you do?
Most of them are posted on my Facebook, which is facebook.com/stalkmyface.
Awesome. That's great. That's fantastic.
It's easy to remember.
I got in early on Facebook and snagged that wonderful name. So
that's awesome.
Great.
All right. Well, we are so happy to have you join us today and share your insights with us as a Garth fan and as we continue our discussion of Garth's 9th studio album, Man Against Machine. As I mentioned at the start of our Man Against Machine review, which was season 5, episode 1, Man Against Machine was released November 11th, 2014 by RCA Records Nashville and Garth's record company, Pearl Records. The album marked Garth's return to recording after a 13-year hiatus. Man Against Machine showcased Garth's ability to evolve with the times, and it incorporated elements of 2014 country music, but it also included a lot of rock elements that we hadn't heard from him before. And of course, it had the classic country sounds that we all know and love. So that blend of styles, I think, once again, proves Garth's range and skills as a singer, as a musician, and as a songwriter. So, since we have a special guest today, we're only going to review one song, and we're going to let Matthew do all the work.
Let's go. That's what I'm talking about.
So, without any further ado, let's dive into today's conversation about the next song on the album, You Wreck Me, with Matthew leading the way.
All right, so You Wreck Me is the 13th song on Man Against Machine.
You've already made a mess of me, and I keep coming back for more. And I don't know why I'm out of my mind. I'm stuck in the rain, standing in line, watching your world go by, and I can't believe that I'm crashing and burning, I'm tossing and turning. I guess that I'm learning you're never gonna see. I love the way you wreck me.
It is a 4-minute and 4-second coaster ride of emotions written by Stephanie Bentley, Kevin Kaddish, and Dan Muckala. And it was never released as a single, unfortunately. All right, folks, gather around, because I'm about to do a deep dive into a musical masterpiece that's been a constant companion through the roller coaster of life. I'm talking about a song that showcases exactly why Garth Brooks has fans spanning generations. It's a tune that evolves with you, becoming a different anthem at every stage of your life. Picture this. You're 15 years old, hormones raging, and you've got that first heart-pounding crush. You don't have the words to express it, so what do? You blast this Garth Brooks song, making it your angsty summer anthem. It captures the intensity and confusion of those first loves perfectly. But maybe, just maybe, you're on the other side of that crush. You're the one dealing with the perplexing signals from a friend who's head over heels for you. This song, it's your guide through that maze of mixed emotions and teenage drama. Fast forward a bit, you've lived a little, loved a lot, and suddenly this song hits you from a whole new angle. You've been in those he's just a friend scenarios that Biz Markie preached to us about, not as the love-struck friend piner, but as the significant other of the one being pined for. Now you feel the frustration and heartbreak from a whole nother perspective. Garth Brooks' music is all about perspective, just like life itself. And let's not forget the incredible G-Men who've been backing up and creating that rich, soulful sound since I was just 10 years old in 1990. Their music has been the soundtrack to my life, guiding me with its stories, advice, and mottos. Be good to each other, stay genuine, and keep your promises. These lessons are woven into every album, and this one is no exception. Whenever I'm faced with a moral dilemma, I ask myself, what would Garth Brooks do? His music isn't just a collection of songs, it's a moral compass, a source of wisdom, and a lifelong friend. So if you haven't already, go listen to the song. Let it take you back, bring you forward, and meet you right where you are. Trust me, it's an experience you don't want to miss. So Deb, what's your thoughts on the song?
So, although this isn't a traditional country song, I think You Wreck Me captures the storytelling in a real kind of country song way, the way that country songs are so good at telling stories. I think at its essence, it's a man expressing his willingness to remain in the person's life, even if it means being just friends. You know, he's been friend zoned, and although he's not happy about it, he's pretty torn up about it because he wants to be the one, but he doesn't want to leave her either. So he's going to be the one standing in line. He's basically saying, I'll be here for you, even if you're wrecking me, and I'll even come back for more. So that just, it breaks my heart. You guys know I love this whole album. This is one of my favorite songs on it. I think the verses are delivered in a soft, almost plaintive tone that conveys the emotional exhaustion of this narrator. I mean, you can hear Garth, he's exhausted in this song. I just hear it in his vocals. I think the melody is haunting during the verses, but then that chorus comes in and it kind of swells and gets more intense. It's driven by those guitars and a strong, steady drum beat. And that dynamic shift between the verses and the chorus mirrors the emotional highs and lows that this narrator is coming to terms with. I mean, he's basically surrendering. He knows he's going to keep coming back. He hates it, but he knows he's going to keep doing it. I think Garth's voice just carries this sense of urgency and longing, especially during the chorus, where he just belts out the lyrics. They have like this mix of kind of pain and determination, especially at the end when the music kind of at first gets quiet, but then it comes back in and it's stronger than before. And you know what? Speaking of the music, I really love the distinctive piano solo opening of this one. And I love how it starts out. I love that part in particular, but I also love how the music in this song captures those kind of dual feelings of passion, but also frustration, which I think you kind of get that in the ebb and the flow, the kind of softer, but then also stronger. So that all the music, I think, really plays into the storytelling. And like I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, this entire album is a blend of styles. It's got the traditional country and rock and new country and all that. And I think You Wreck Me is a perfect example showcasing Garth's ability to truly do a great job when trying out different genres and styles. And you know what also, and I think Jess is going to agree with me on this, this song reminds me of something that could be on the Chris Gaines project.
It's in my notes.
Oh, see, there you go. So I could just picture Chris singing it. All right, Pete, what do you think?
Well, what I was going to say, Matthew already said. So, I mean, it was like pretty much word for word what I was going to say.
You're fired. Yeah. Matthew's hired.
No, so, we, a lot of talk in this episode alone, while we've been discussing it. And Deb, you talk about this episode and, how it showcases different parts of Garth. And one word we haven't said tonight, although it's been said multiple times before, and there's multiple words to be shown for it. It shows how great of an entertainer Garth Brooks can be in different settings.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes him so lovable to so many people, right? Because he could sing soul. The only thing we haven't heard him do yet is rap, and who's to say he hasn't retired yet? And maybe we could get that.
Maybe that's a project for Greasy Pickle.
Yeah, I just had that thought.
But no, like this song, we always talk about how his songs, his lyrics, and his music take us and they put us in that story, or they put us in that place. And although the lyrics on this one don't make sense on why I feel the two areas where I come back and forth to while listening to it, I just haven't been able to break it. When it gets, I'm sitting there on the phone at 2 a.m. I think of a man sitting on the edge of a bed in a dark room. I don't know, with a low lamp on, maybe raining outside. And then when there's that hope, and then the song brings you back up, like you said, the instruments, it goes very, very dark, and then it gets very bright. That kind of, I don't know why, it kind of takes me where they're sitting in front of a house and he's talking to this woman, or they're in that, he's hoping for the what if part of it. And then boom, it just brings me right back to sitting on the edge of that dark bed. And although the lyrics tell a different story, that's what I get from this song. This song is another great example of how we've talked about so much. This album, it comes out, even when he was doing the world tour and they started opening up with Man Against the Machine, we knew we were going to get our ass kicked with this one. But this song, it just humbles you. It just brings you right back down. Like he wraps himself around you. The lyrics wrap around you and they just bring you back down to a level playing field. I really thoroughly enjoy You Wreck Me. It's a great, great song. The lyrics and everything about it are wonderful. I love the song. And Matthew, you did A+ job on getting it out there and getting in the feels for sure. But Jess, what do you got? I'm excited to hear this.
I love this song. And Deb, like you mentioned, that opening, I love the really heavy kind of somber sound to it. It reminds me of that early mid 2000s, almost like Evanescence or something that's just dark in and of itself. Like I'm waiting for a cloud to roll in with the piano or I can't really tell if that's a piano or keyboard, but whatever it is, the keys, I'm getting like the darkness rolling in with that. The rhythmic swells in the chorus, like you talked about, like the rise and fall, it's so hypnotic. And I find myself just moving to the beat of this song a lot. I think the use of the keys and the rock and roll cymbals work really well here and carve out a unique place on the album. And we talk a lot about like song choice and why things go in a particular place on the album. So I think this works in the spot that it's in. It's almost near the end, but also it's just a unique sound. So it has its own place because it doesn't sound like anything else necessarily on the album. Lyrically, I can't help but feel compelled by this poor guy. You know, he's so wrapped up in this woman that he knows is never gonna see how into her he is. Like he's almost addicted to her in a sense. Like when he says, I'm stuck in the rain, standing in line, watching your world go by. And then the line that says, you hold me like you're scared to let me go. You look at me like I'm invisible. There's an obvious separation there that he can't breach, and it's painful to him. But at the same time, it's that kind of hurt so good vibe. Like he just keeps going back anyway. And because he can't let her go either. So he just keeps showing up every time she calls for more. And that concept is so kind of deliciously dark and complex, just like the opening music promised. And in my opinion, that's a win because it works for this song and for this album. Vocally, Deb, like you mentioned, I have in here, this reminds me of something that would have been on Chris Gaines or maybe one of the cover albums. But to me, because it's more that rock or soul vibe than the country vibe, that's what it sounds like. And I adore it because I love the cover albums. I love Chris Gaines. I love all of those things. And I like just getting to see Garth stretch his muscles and do something a little different. He's earned it. He's been here with us all these years. And I think as much as we all love classic Garth, it's so much fun to see someone so talented and that we love so much do something we haven't seen before. And he keeps giving us something slightly new every time. And I love that. I love when this song, like, I think, Deb, you mentioned this too, and I don't know if we're talking about the same part or not, but I think so. Like at the midway point, it goes almost silent, like almost completely silent. And then it starts back in with like a falsetto, quiet sound, and then goes back to full chest voice. And all those changes, I think, just sound really good together. And it's such a magnificent climb. And I'm there for it every time. Literally, this song is one that I probably play 3 times in a row every time before I go on to the next song. I really love this. It's one of my favorite ones for sure on the album and possibly just in general.
I agree. And when I was researching this, I would let it go and it would get towards the end. And then I'd like,
Rewind.
wait, no.
Yeah, no,
I got to
don't
go
go away.
back and
Yeah.
start again.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like,
back
wait,
here.
did I really catch that? Let me try again.
I
Yes.
didn't enjoy that song enough the first time. I need to fully appreciate it a third or fourth time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't think I gave Garth his real due. So
Yes.
let me do it again.
Yes.
It's just ridiculous. I'm sure my family is like, why does she keep playing the same song over and over again?
Apple Music comes up with a warning on your phone. This is the 27th time in the last 30 minutes you've listened. Are you sure you're okay? Is it time for coffee?
Right? They're like, mom's reliving her teenage years. She's in there with the music on repeat in her room.
Sobbing into my pillow.
Dad, is mom all right? Yeah, she's just doing one of them Garth Brooks things again.
She's just getting ready for another episode.
Research.
All right, everyone. That's it for this episode. Part 5 of our Man Against Machine review, discussing the 13th song on the album, You Wreck Me. Thank you to Matthew for joining us.
Thank you, my friend.
This was so much
Ton
fun.
of fun.
It really was. You did such a good job. Thank you so much.
I feel so much more comfortable now at the end. The sweat has stopped a little bit. I'm a little bit better now.
Stay tuned for the final part of our review of Man Against Machine, which may just include another special Garthologist.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Dun, dun, dun.
Have you checked out our website at garthology.com yet? If not, stop by today and check out past episodes and bonus content. And remember to subscribe to our podcast on your podcast platform of choice. Hey, if you listen on Apple Podcasts, if you could stop by, hit that 5-star button if you like what you hear, and write up a review to encourage others to listen, that would be great. Then be sure and share us with everyone you know. That way you can help your friends in low places become Garthologists too.
And speaking of friends in low places, if you guys are on social media, we love the interaction. If you are on Facebook, we are at www.facebook.com/GarthologyCast. We are on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Threads, and we are all at GarthologyCast there. So please stop by, leave us a message, like, tweet, retweet, and do all that fun stuff that you do there. We sure do appreciate the support. And this week's shout out, since we're going to kind of skip over that real quick, goes to Matthew. Matthew, thank you so much for your time and the effort. You did it very, very well.
Yay! Thank you, Matthew.
Appreciate you guys.
You can hear new episodes of Garthology on the 7th, 17th, and 27th of each month. So please join us for our next episode. Until then,
thanks for joining us for another episode of Garthology. And I'm Deb.
I'm Pete.
I'm Jess.
And I'm Matt.
And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. And remember, love will always win.
Finish it! Finish it!
Bloopers. Oh, wait, you know what? Everybody should do that too, is silence your phones, because I always forget to do that.
Hold on, I have a few things to silence. I'm sorry about that.
That's all right.
He's got a concert search going off in the background.
Pete, what are you drinking?
Vodka, do you want some?
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. Do you remember that episode we recorded drinking pina coladas?
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Bring you forward and meet you right where you are. Trust me, it's an experience you don't want to miss.
This guy trying to take my job.
Oh my gosh,
That was amazing, man.
So
That was
good.
awesome.
Thanks.
that was so good.
That was awesome.
I started tearing up.
Oh, you know what I kept starting to think? I was like, Jess has got to run for her money. And I started thinking, hold on a second, he's going to take my spot. I'm going to be unemployed.
Oh my gosh,
awesome,
that
man.
was so good.
That was
Very
very
good. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Garthology. And I'm Deb.
I'm Pete.
I'm Jess.
And I'm Matt.
Wow, they took our shit. That's our thing. Look at that. He comes in. That's it. How perfect was that?
He's official.
Yeah, that's it. He knows it. He knows how to do it.